Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation continues from Vadhans Mahalla Panjwa. These are compositions of the fifth Nanak, Guru Arjan. And the recitation first. Vadhans Mahalla Panjwa. Visar nahi Prabh deen dayala, teri saran puran kirpala, rahao jeh chit aave so thaan suhava, jit vela visar hai ta lage hava, tere ji tu sad hi sathi, ਸੰਸਾਰ ਸਾਗਰ ਤੇ ਕੱਢ ਦੇ ਹਾਥੀ, ਆਵਣ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੁਮ ਹੀ ਕੀਆ, ਜਿਸ ਤੂੰ ਰਾਖੈ ਤਿਸ ਦੁਖ ਨਾ ਥੀਆ, ਤੂੰ ਏਕੋ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਅਵਰ ਨਾ ਹੋਰ, ਬਿਨੋ ਕਰੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਕਰ ਜੋਰ. So this passage is one of beckoning, one of pleading, one of asking to live in that state of consciousness that we call Prabh or Har, as distinct from the state of consciousness that we ordinarily experience. What we ordinarily experience is the ego, which is limiting, which arises from a sense of separation, which means self-alienation. What the Guru here is begging for is an end to that self-alienation, to revel and to relish being in one's own natural state. If you remember the previous Shabad, that is what is being asked for. And this continues in this passage. Visar nahi, recede not, Prabh deen dayala. So please do not recede from my mind. In other words, don't make me lose awareness of your presence, because that is what happens in the ego. We lose awareness of the self, the Har self. So the Guru is saying, please do not recede from my mind. I seek your absolute refuge. Teri saran, puran kirpala, O merciful one. I seek your sanctuary. That is the Rahao verse in this passage at the very outset. And then in the first verse, following the Rahao, he says, ਜਹ ਚਿਤ ਆਵੈ ਸੋ ਥਾਣ ਸੁਹਾਵਾ, ਜਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਵਿਸਰੈ ਤਾ ਲਾਗੇ ਹਾਵਾ. So it is a contrast, comparison. Whenever you come to mind, jeh chit aave. So you remember in the Rahao, the Guru is saying, please do not recede from my mind, because whenever you are in my mind, whenever I'm mindful, that moment is very agreeable. So thaan suhava, it's pleasant. And when you are remembered, when you're recalled, that time, moment is auspicious. So I wish to be in your sanctuary always. Jit vela visre ta lage hava. Well, this is the opposite. When the moment I'm unmindful, I'm filled with regret. When I act unmindfully, the end result is regret, because things never quite go the way you expect them to. Verse 2. Tere ji, tu sad hi sathi, tere ji. We, the Jeev, belong to you. Tu sad hi sathi, and you are our constant companion. So that is the state that we are asking for, where we are living in that awareness of our constant companion. Sansar sagar te kad de hathi. Hathi, with your hand, rescue us from the world play. When he says the world, what he means is the ego, because it is the ego that is the world, in fact, your subjective world. He's asking to be pulled out of the subjective world, not the objective world. So that distinction should be very clear in your mind. He's not asking to be pulled out of this world that we live in, but to be pulled out of the subjective world inside our minds, which is the world of the ego, I, where the I is dominant. That subjective consciousness the Guru wants to be pulled out of. Aaman jana tum hi kiya. And this is an acknowledgement that my ego state, which is constantly repeating itself, is actually a gift from you. Because you see, Haume is also the principle of creation. Haume kar kar jant upaya. That's how creation occurs. And the Guru is acknowledging that. But in the process of creation, the self gets corrupted. And it is that corruption that the Guru wishes to resolve. Verse 3. Jis tu rakhe hai tis dukh na thiya, toye ko sahib avar na hor. Grace comes into play here. Those who are protected, meaning those who live in that state of consciousness, do not suffer. Why? Because they are attuned to the way things are. There is no resistance. Tuye ko sahib avar na hor. You are the only master, meaning you are on both sides. This other that I think of as myself is really a fiction. It is not true. Bino kare nanak kar jor. So with folded hands, bino kar jor can mean two things. It can mean a beckoning, a plea with folded hands, or it can mean kar jor, to join. Bring us together. Bring these two different sets of consciousness that exist in me, are at odds with one another. Bring them together. Bino kare, Nanak pleads with you. Nanak kar jor. With folded hands, I plead, please join us together. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.